Good morning everybody and welcome to this week's Headmasters blog. It's Friday the 17th of September. Well, I'm sure, like me, many of you were glued to the screen watching Emma Raducanu walk her way into the history books with her sensational triumph at Flushing Meadow in the US Open over the weekend. And I'm sure, like many schools, she was the source of assembly over the course of this week, and Kingswood House was no exception. And I explored with the girls and boys just how great a role model Emma Raducanu is, somebody who has her head screwed on, as we might say, somebody who can fall back on excellent academic results, but equally somebody who has had fame and fortune now bestowed upon them at relatively short notice and perhaps relatively unexpected. Emma Raducanu flew out to New York, had to qualify for the tournament, and I understand had booked her flights back after just 2 weeks, so had to extend her stay because she wasn't expecting to progress so far in the competition. It just goes to show that with self-belief, having conquered her nerves at Wimbledon in the fourth round, which of course saw her leave a very big match prematurely, it was wonderful to see her bounce back, and I don't think anybody, herself included, could have predicted the way things would have panned out for her in New York. Made all the more remarkable, by the way, when you think that she was away from her family and friends, and you only sort of have to see that moment of glory when she realised that she'd won, and she turned around to think who she could celebrate with, and there wasn't anybody there. She actually had to climb up to the box to celebrate with her coaching team. So Emma Raducanu, on behalf of everyone at Kingswood House, we're immensely proud of your achievement, and as I said to the girls and boys, she is a fantastic role model for girls and boys, somebody who they can relate to, someone who's approachable. I just wonder, and I discussed this with the boys and girls, I just wonder whether or not that fame and fortune might catch up with somebody at such a young age. But I don't think so. It seems to me as though she's got the right values, she's got the right team and family support around her, that I think that we'll be seeing Emma Raducanu's name up in lights for some time to come for all the right reasons, and I very much hope so. We are looking forward to our first normal open morning on Saturday. The weather forecast looks set fair. We are welcoming 50 families through our doors, all on a booking system. We've been operating a waiting list for the last couple of weeks. I have to say it is sensational to think that KHS is attracting that kind of prospective interest. And we are really excited to be showing everybody around our beautiful site. Our lower prep classrooms with our new reception is set up and looking wonderful. Our new Astro is very nearly finished, and the school itself just looks cosmetically magnificent, enhanced only by the personality and charisma of my wonderful teaching team who will be out in force, and of course a big thank you in advance to our upper prep and senior prep prefects who will be invited in to come and support on those group tours. So look forward to that. I had a great evening last night at Ripley Court School in Ripley, where I met with families down there interested potentially in a move to Kingswood House in the future. It was really good to be back out on the road, and I believe that we've got sort of 10 of those lined up. And excitingly, we are hosting our own first event at the RAC Club later this month, where I will be hosting a soiree for prep school feeders. And I believe about 15 to 20 schools are going to be represented, coming to hear from me and senior staff all about life at Kingswood House in years 7 upwards. And of course we can fall back upon not just fantastic results, but also a real sense of team ethic and camaraderie, because those year groups at Kingswood House are wonderful, and the preparation for life is our strapline, and that is what we deliver. And I believe it is a really innovative school of thoughts, and one that is evidently making some waves. So very intrigued to welcome all of those heads to come and find out more about Kingswood House. Parents, please note there is a Kingswood House Association annual general meeting on Monday night here at the school. I believe it starts at 7 p.m. We would love lots of new parents, and indeed lots of current parents, to come along, find out more about what the Kingswood House Association does. It really is valuable. It's all in the interests of the girls and boys. Putting on events, trips for them, fundraising so that we can do little optional extras. For example, the Kingswood House Sports Association have raised the funds for the cricket net that's going to be put on to the Astro. And indeed, we look forward to the social events we've got later on in this term. These all happen because of the mechanism and the time of the officers of the Kingswood House Association, and we would love to have a few more people on board. So please don't be shy, do come on down and find out what it is all about. Mrs. Whips will be there, I will be there too, if that's any kind of an incentive, and you can meet obviously with other like-minded parents and give a little back for your children, which is what it's all about at the end of the day. Mrs. Wraith talked in Assembly as well this week about our value of the term, which is respect. And of course, in summary, the Kingswood House Way is something that all stakeholders at this school subscribe to. We work very hard with the children here, and we would equally ask that parents reinforce those key values at home. Now, the key thing really to remember is that respect starts with yourself. We want all of the children to feel good about themselves, to feel valued, because that way we believe is the best platform for them to treat others as they would wish to be treated. So please do spend a moment over the weekend exploring that concept with them, and you'll find more in the newsletter for you to talk about with them. And finally, girls and parents, we're looking forward to welcoming you into the school for your first in a series of tea and talks with the wonderful Ros McLeod. An invitation has winged its way to you this week, and we'd be very glad if you were to reply. Ros will be coming in and talking about settling into a co-educational environment, how to get on with one another, who to talk to, how you might cope, and to help you make decisions and to feel empowered in doing so. She's really inspirational, great fun. So girls and parents, you are warmly invited to that event, and we very much hope that all of you will come along. In the meantime, I'm going to now start with this week's mentions in dispatches. So, first of the term, well done to Olivia in reception for settling in so well. You've been nominated by Mr. Clerk. Well done to Beatrix in Year 3, who's been nominated for being helpful. Well done, Beatrix. We always like to hear that, and Mrs. Lambert is delighted with you. Well done to Oliver Rosenbaum for a great first few days at KHS from Miss Smith. To Ryan Battier for settling in quickly, working hard from Miss Forbes in 5F. All the students in 6L have made really good contributions to class discussions, but Eddie Bishop has taken on responsibility for being the shed monitor. Doesn't get any bigger than that, Eddie. So well done from Mrs. Lindley. And Indy Daisley has settled really well in maths, says Mr. Clark. 6S have all settled in well. The new pupils have been welcomed well by the rest of the class, gradually finding their feet, reports Madame Swift. And Connor Morley Alvarez, well done to you for showing really good initiative. And Ezra Oxley Wilson too. Mr. Barrett is pleased with your productive attitude in his lessons. Alyssa, Isabella, Jensen, Gabriel, Oscar, Max, Kishan and Sebastian, you've all started really well in 7BL, says Miss Black. She is delighted to have you in her class. And Freddie Taylor has taken on the role as prep monitor and done a really good job so far. Well done, Freddie, leading the way. And Dylan Newman, the first to volunteer to read to the class in enrichment. So Dylan, well done. You read very well and were well spoken and enunciated all of your words, says Miss Black. In 7P, Alex Hayworth, Harrison West have been helpful and kind. Love that word. Well done for being kind, boys. Miss Patel is pleased with you. Jack Guiney, Kieran Schmidt and Tristan Bush showing a really good sense of maturity, reports Miss Patel. And Lauren and Pippa have, although they're new themselves, taken another younger student under their wings during the production rehearsal, says Miss Patel. So well done to Lauren and Pippa too. Sam Woods, great start from you. Mr. Barrett's pleased with your work in science. Oscar and Max, well done too. You really good work in maths from Mrs. Lindley. And James Dowling has really impressed Madame Swift with his French. In fact, she said to me on the slide that she wished she could clone you, James, because your enthusiasm is infectious. Into 8F, Will Harverson, a really good goal, knitting a scarf, has been set. Miss Foster says she can't wait to see it. And Mrs. Lindley is pleased with you too, Will, for showing really good effort in class. Into 8L, Connor Towers and Josh McCrossan, both boys have had a positive start to the term. Keep it up, says Mr. Lordy. Avanish has made a fantastic laboratory safety poster for Miss Black. Madame Taylor is very pleased with all of 8T for their listening so far in form period. And Mrs. Lindley would like to single out Lucas Staples-Sheesby for a strong start to term in maths. And Mr. Clark in general would like to say to all of Upper Prep, amazing to see all of the new boys and girls settling in so well. It's like they've been here forever. All the existing pupils are looking after them with the Kingswood House Way in mind. And well done also to the Upper Prep prefects who have already devised a duty rota and being very proactive. Into the seniors, Lucas Cressy in 9B, a great start to the term. I know you've been away recently, Lucas, but whilst you were here, you've been incredibly helpful, showing around another new boy in the class. Patrick Gray has created a good impression, submitting an excellent paper on what it means to be British, reports Miss O'Shea. And Tarani has shown excellent subject knowledge in his first science lesson for Miss Black. Mingwan and Nathan in 9H have settled in well, says Mr. Hendry, and Henry Sweetman particularly has been kind and helpful to them. Well done to Nathan, who's also been nominated for his French from Madame Taylor, Oscar Davino for music from Miss Foster, and Mingwan again for his maths. Working with accuracy and care, two very important attributes there, Mingwan, keep it up. India 10's great start to the year, says Mrs. Hornstetter. They've all got on well with their learning. And Anthony Mirnick, well done, particularly for your good start in GCSE music, reports Miss Foster. Mrs. Weston says that all of 10W have returned well. They seem happy and focused for the challenges ahead. And Mrs. Hornstetter particularly pleased with her HBQ group, who are brimming with enthusiasm about their projects. And that reminds me, parents in Year 10, we will have an information meeting about the HBQ in the next week or two. I know Mrs. Hornstetter is on to that. Well done to Year 11s. Mr. Bailey and Mrs. Wraith are very pleased with the mindset of all of you coming straight into term. Going into your pre-mocks is probably a tough ask, but it means you're fresh and you've done well, you've listened, you've worked hard, and now you can reflect on those results and start to progress and move forward. Well done in particular to Ryan Luneman, who achieved a grade 7 in his business studies GCSE over the holiday, and Hugo Davis likewise got a grade 7 in his Spanish exam over the holiday. So you two have got a result in the bag already, and a very good one too. Mr. Sikdale is in general very pleased with the start from the seniors. He asks you to keep listening and keep being role models, which of course is incredibly important. So that sort of wraps up a very busy but enjoyable and productive week here at Kingswood House. Next week I will be largely away at the IAPS Heads Conference, where I'm actually presenting in front of my fellow colleagues about the pros of being a 16 plus school, which will be a great privilege and an honour to represent Kingswood House on such a prestigious national stage. I will try and do a blog from Bournemouth, which is where I will be, but I look forward to a really fantastic week ahead. In the meantime, have a super weekend.